survival instincts. Notably, the rut season unfolds even as the herd keeps moving, meaning mating behaviors are interspersed with rest pauses, when the herd halts for hours to recover energy. The passage of tens of thousands of caribou forms well-worn caribou trails, altering vegetation patterns and allowing new grasses to grow after winter. Resting spots often attract other species, like Arctic foxes, golden eagles, and even small rodents, that follow the herds to scavenge leftovers or find natural casualties along the way. Thanks to the presence of the porcupine caribou, the red squirrel is among the many species that benefit indirectly. Fall is when red squirrels are at their most active. Small but energetic, they spend most of their time gathering and storing pine cones, especially from white spruce and lodgepole pine, into hidden stockpiles called middens. Indirect nutrients from porcupine caribou droppings, rich in nitrogen and microbes, have been shown in 2024 studies by the Alaska Department of Fish and Game to enhance forest vegetation growth. As a result, cone production, an essential food source for the red squirrel, has seen significant increases. Adapted to cold climates, red squirrels have tufted ears, bushy tails, and lightly furred feet that help insulate them as they move across the snow. They do not hibernate, instead surviving the long winter by relying on their food caches, a highly effective evolutionary strategy that has allowed the species to persist since the end of the Pleistocene. Each individual guards its own territory, staying highly alert and responding aggressively to any intruders, creating a lively rhythm in the taiga forests bordering the tundra every fall season. While the red squirrel busily gathers its winter stores, the Canada lynx lurks quietly in the shadows, two contrasting survival instincts unfolding in the snowy northern forests. The Canada lynx is striking in appearance, with dense silver-gray fur, tufted black ears, golden eyes, and a short, stubby tail. Its long hind legs and large fur-covered feet allow it to move silently across deep snow. This is an evolutionary adaptation that boosts its hunting efficiency in harsh winter conditions. Weighing between 8 and 12 kilograms and measuring about 75 to 100 centimeters in body length, its true power lies in its ability to disappear into snowy landscapes and dense underbrush, making it a formidable predator. The Canada lynx's hunting strategy relies almost entirely on the snowshoe hare, which makes up around 75% of its diet. As hares are most active at dusk or night, the lynx follows their tracks, stalking silently and unleashing a swift, precise pounce in the blink of an eye. According to a 2024 report from the Wildlife Conservation Society Canada, lynx population density in Yukon closely mirrors the snowshoe hare's 10-year boom and bust cycle. This cycle causes hare populations to spike and then crash each decade, driven by the combined pressures of predation and food scarcity. When hare numbers decline, lynx must broaden their diet to include species like grouse, red squirrels, or even carrion to survive. Though small, the lynx's distinctive appearance and relentless hunting determination are enough to make even passing travelers, like caribou, take notice. Just like the caribou, fall marks the most intense breeding season of the year for male Alaskan moose. Yukon is home to this subspecies, the largest moose in the world, standing up to 2 meters tall at the shoulder with antlers spanning more than 1.5 meters, regenerated annually by the hormone testosterone. These antlers serve both as weapons in competition and as signals for mate selection during the rut, which lasts from early September to mid-October. In the damp forests and wetlands along mountain slopes, bull moose let out deep bellows and rake their antlers against trees, producing resonant sounds that echo through the snowy woods. Rivalry can escalate into real battles, where strength and stamina decide which bulls earn the right to breed. But the rut also makes moose more vulnerable, as their focus on reproduction often leaves them less alert to threats. However, the greatest threat today does not come from nature. It comes from humans. Modern roads and technology have made it easier for hunters to access moose habitats, increasing harvest pressure, especially in high-density areas. Interestingly, moose numbers in Yukon range from 65,000 to 70,000, more than the region's human population of 43,000 as of 2024. Outside the rut, moose are generally solitary and forage on shrubs like willow and birch, as well as aquatic plants. Over the past century, their range has expanded northward thanks to warming climates that have boosted shrub growth by nearly 1 meter above the snowline. Though they are not highly active, moose build up fat reserves in the fall to survive the long, lean winter months. When threatened, they use their large hooves to strike back. Moose mothers are fiercely protective of their calves, born between May and June the following year, maintaining a resilient life cycle across Yukon's dense forests and tundra. Fall in the Ogilvy Mountains and Porcupine Valley grows even more vibrant as the cry of a bald eagle cuts through the icy air. Not only the national symbol of the United States, the bald eagle also represents Yukon's spirit of freedom. This bird lives untamed, flying freely over mountain forests and glaciers, places where humans rarely tread. Along river systems like the Porcupine River, offering ideal nesting spots and abundant food, bald eagles are especially common. They choose tall pine trees near water for nesting, often returning to the same nest year after year, expanding it each breeding season. According to a 2024 report from the Yukon Environment Department, their nests can grow up to 2.5 meters wide and weigh more than 450 kilograms after years of use. Fall is also a crucial time for eagle pairs to defend their territory and prepare for the upcoming spring breeding season. The bald eagle's survival lies in its adaptable feeding strategy. They swoop down with pinpoint accuracy to catch salmon from the water's surface, but they also scavenge, feeding on remains of animals like caribou or moose when fresh prey becomes scarce. This often leads to fierce clashes with other scavengers or even rival eagles as they fight to survive. At this time of year, large animal remains begin to appear, left behind after long migrations or the intense demands of mating season. This is when ravens enter their peak activity period, gathering energy reserves for the long, bitter winter ahead. They follow the movements of hoofed animals like caribou and moose, ready to seize any opportunity. Whether it's a carcass that hasn't fully decomposed or leftover scraps from predators' feasts, ravens are quick to take advantage. Their flexible feeding strategy and remarkable intelligence allow them to survive in spectacular fashion. They can remember where they've hidden food for weeks. Ravens are also known for clever distractions, pretending to give warning calls to trick others, stealing food, and even harassing larger birds like bald eagles to take their place at a carcass. After a long journey through the autumn forests and mountains, the caribou finally reach the Richardson Mountains and Yukon interior taiga. This is where they will spend the winter, enduring the extreme cold. Winter in Yukon typically begins in late October and lasts through April, with average temperatures ranging from -20 degrees Celsius to -40 degrees Celsius, sometimes dipping even lower. In the Richardson Mountains, steep terrain and constant winds prevent deep snow accumulation. As a result, many areas expose lichen just beneath the surface, an essential food source that helps caribou maintain their energy throughout the long, harsh winter. Alongside the porcupine caribou, the 40-mile caribou is another distinctive subspecies found in northern North America. These two herds share a common ancestor, but geographic separation and habitat differences have led to notable distinctions in behavior and migration patterns. Porcupine caribou primarily inhabit the open Arctic regions, while 40-mile caribou have adapted to the subarctic forested areas of Yukon. Although they appear nearly identical, from fur color to body size and antler structure. According to the Alaska Department of Fish and Game, 40-mile caribou are slightly smaller due to a less nutritious diet in the forest-mountain transition zones. 40-mile caribou tend to travel in smaller groups and stay closer to the edge of the boreal forest. In contrast, porcupine caribou prefer the wide-open tundra plains. When winter arrives, 40-mile caribou seek shelter under forest canopies to shield themselves from the cold winds, while porcupine caribou are willing to travel farther to find lichen-rich areas, their primary winter food source. The starkest difference between the two herds lies in their migration ranges. Porcupine caribou are known for their epic migration, spanning thousands of kilometers each year, one of the longest overland migrations of any land mammal. They follow a consistent route from the Ogilvy Mountains to the Richardson Mountains and onward to the Beaufort Sea coast. In contrast, 40-mile caribou migrate only a few hundred kilometers around the 40-mile river region between Alaska and Yukon. Caribou are blessed with astonishing adaptations for surviving in extreme environments. Their fur is thick and hollow, like tiny straws, trapping warm air close to the body. Their noses warm the air before it reaches the lungs, and their large hooves help them dig through snow and maintain traction on ice. Although they can endure temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius, their true challenges come from hunger and predators.